practitioners. ICF credentials are awarded to professional coaches who have met stringent education and experience requirements and have demonstrated a thorough understanding of the coaching competencies that set the standard in the profession. Achieving credentials through ICF signifies a coach's commitment to integrity, understanding and mastery of coaching skills, and dedication to clients. ICF also accredits programs that deliver coach-specific training. ICF approved and accredited training programs must complete a rigorous review process and demonstrate that their curriculum aligns with the ICF core competencies and code of ethics. The ICF is committed to maintaining and promoting excellence in coaching. Therefore, ICF expects all members and credentialed coaches, coach mentors, coaching supervisors, coach trainers, or students to adhere to the elements and principles of ethical conduct, to be competent, and integrate ICF core competencies effectively in their work. Ethical awareness is critical when navigating the coaching profession, and ethical competence is imperative to appropriate and effective coaching practice. In line with the ICF core values and ICF definition of coaching, the Code of Ethics is designed to provide appropriate guidelines, accountability, and enforceable standards of conduct for all ICF members and ICF credential holders who commit to abiding by the ICF Code of Ethics. The ICF offers 3 different individual credentials. The main difference between the 3 credentials is the number of coach-specific training hours and the number of client coaching experience hours that are required. Your first step in qualifying for an ICF credential is to complete coach-specific training. To ensure quality training, ICF accredits or approves coach-specific training programs that meet its high standards. ICF offers 3 types of program approval: Accredited Coach Training Program, or ACTP, Approved Coach-Specific Training Hours, or ACSTH, and Continuing Coach Education, or CCE. An ICF Accredited Coach Training Program, or ACTP, is considered an all-inclusive coach training program. An ACTP includes a minimum of 125 hours of coach-specific training, including comprehensive instruction around the ICF core competencies, Code of Ethics, and the ICF definition of coaching. This type of program also includes mentor coaching, observed coaching sessions, and a comprehensive final exam that evaluates a student's coaching competency. An ICF-approved coach-specific training hours, or ACSTH program, is considered an a la carte coach training program. An ACSTH program includes a minimum of 30 hours of coach-specific training, including instruction around the ICF core competencies and observed coaching sessions. A Continuing Coach Education, or CCE program, is intended for coaches who already have ICF credentials or who have completed basic coach training. A CCE program may include advanced coach training that directly relates to or expands upon the ICF core competencies, and or training and skills that contribute to the professional development of a coach. For example, personal development, coaching assessments or tools, business building, or other material that falls outside of the ICF core competencies. You may submit non-ICF approved training for consideration as coach-specific training via the portfolio path. We can accept training that is specifically marketed as teaching coaching skills, that teaches coaching skills or teaches how to apply technical skills in a coach-like manner, and teaches coaching skills in accordance with the ICF core competencies. Training that is not accepted as coach-specific training is training that is marketed as teaching other skills, even though the skills can be used by a coach in some manner, personal development courses, or education in other areas such as psychology, counseling, NLP, etc., does not count as coach-specific training unless it was actually taught as coach training and from an ICF core competencies perspective. You all have access to the credentialing guide that outlines the credential requirements and the different paths that you may follow to be awarded an ICF credential, which may be downloaded from the handout section of this webinar platform. The type of training that you complete dictates which application path you follow to apply for an ICF credential. I'm going to go through the credentialing guide just to give you all an idea of what it looks like and the format and the requirements that you would need to meet to apply for an ICF credential. So first we're going to start with the Associate Certified Coach. There are 3 different paths to choose from depending upon what type of training program that you complete. If you complete an entire ICF accredited coach training program, then you may apply for the ACC credential via the ACTP path. If you complete at least 60 hours of coach-specific training through an ACTP or an ACSDH program, then you would apply via the ACC ACSDH path. If you complete at least 60 hours of coach-specific training that is not approved in advance by the ICF or that is approved as CCE programs, then you may apply via the ACC portfolio path. Similarly, for the PCC, if you complete an accredited coach training program, then you may apply via the ACTP path. If you complete at least 125 hours of coach-specific training through an ACTP or ACSDH program, then you may apply via the PCC ACSDH path. Or if you complete 125 hours of coach-specific training that is not approved or is from CCE programs, then you may apply via the PCC portfolio path. Finally, for the MCC, there is just one path to follow to apply for the credential. And that credential requires that you complete at least 200 hours of coach-specific training, which may be from ACTP programs, ACSDH programs, CCE programs, or non-approved training that's submitted for consideration as coach-specific training. There are 2 different resources that ICF provides for you to find coach training. The first is the ICF Training Program Search Service, or TPSS, and the second is the ICF Event Calendar. There are over 1,000 programs that are ICF approved or accredited, so you may use the search filters on the Training Program Search Service to narrow down your options to find a training program that best fits your needs. You may also find upcoming events or training using the ICF Event Calendar. I'm going to show you where you can find these on our website. First, you'll go to the individual credentialing section of the website and then scroll all the way down to Training Program Search Service. From here, you can use these different search terms to use as filters to narrow down your options. So let's say, for example, we were looking for an accredited coach training program that we can complete via distance learning that has a focus on business and organizations and executive coaching. Once I've made those selections, I'm going to hit search, and it will show me all of the training programs that meet those conditions. For further details, you can then click on the training organization name, and it will give you all of the information about the program's approval and contact information for the training organization. Switching over to the event calendar, you can get to that by going to Events and then Calendar. On the event calendar, you'll be able to see training that's delivered either by ICF approved programs or chapters or communities of practice. You can use these different search filters to help narrow down your options, or you can just review the calendar and see what upcoming events are posted. If you're interested in a particular event, you just click on the event, and that will give you all the information about the event as well as links of how to register for the event with the event organizer. Next, we're going to transition to a very important part of the credentialing process, which is the ICF Coach Knowledge Assessment. The ICF Coach Knowledge Assessment, or CKA, is a multiple choice assessment that all credential applicants must complete. The CKA is only required to be completed one time. Once you submit your credential application and it is reviewed by our staff, you will be sent a link to complete the CKA. All of the CKA questions are based on the ICF definition of coaching, core competencies, and code of ethics. The CKA content covers 5 broad domains: setting the foundation, co-creating the relationship, communicating effectively, facilitating learning and results, and coaching foundations and knowledge base. The questions' difficulty levels vary, with some intended to assess awareness of a concept or skill, while others may present a scenario that requires deeper understanding. The current version of the CKA contains 105 multiple choice test items. Each test item contains a short statement or question with possible responses. For each question, there is only one response that ICF has established as being correct. You must receive at least a 70% to pass the CKA. Another important aspect of the credentialing process is mentor coaching. Mentor coaching for an ICF credential is an important requirement of the ICF credentialing process and is vital to the development and growth of the individual seeking an ICF credential. Mentor coaching provides the opportunity to share your coaching skills with someone who can provide feedback regarding your use of the ICF core competencies. The ICF definition of mentor coaching is providing professional services to develop the required coaching skills needed to obtain an ICF credential. It consists of coaching and feedback in a collaborative, appreciative, and dialogued process based on observed or recorded coaching to increase the coach's capability in coaching in alignment with the ICF core competencies. Mentor coaching for an ICF credential focuses on developing coaching skills and not on the exploration of challenges of the coaching professional practice, such as building a business or achieving work-life balance. The purpose of mentor coaching is it provides professional assistance in achieving and demonstrating the levels of coaching competency and capability demanded by the desired credential level. Mentor coaching should take place over an extended time, a 3-month minimum, in a cycle that allows for listening and feedback from the mentor coach while also allowing reflection and practice on the part of the individual being mentored. Mentor coaching also creates a safe and trusting space for the delivery of feedback using a respectful, clear, judgment-free tone. Mentor coaching focuses on ICF core competency development by reviewing and providing oral and written feedback on a series of the mentee's coaching sessions while providing specific verbal and/or written feedback using targeted examples from the sessions so that the mentee knows exactly what he or she is doing well, the mentee understands what needs to be done to develop a deeper level of mastery in coaching, and the mentor articulates with specific detail and examples what is being observed and the specific development needed to move to the next skill level, delivered with sensitivity to the impact of the feedback. You must be mentor coached by an ICF credentialed coach that is credentialed at the same level or higher of the credential for which you are applying. For example, if you are applying for the ACC credential, your mentor coach may hold the ACC, PCC, or MCC credential. If you are applying for the PCC credential, your mentor coach may hold the PCC or MCC credential. If you are applying for the MCC credential, your mentor coach must hold the MCC credential. You may choose to use the ICF Mentor Coach Registry to find a mentor coach, but please know you are not required to select a coach from this registry. It is just a free resource ICF offers to assist you in finding a mentor coach. Now I'm going to cover a few common mistakes that we see while we are processing your credential applications. We have a brief survey that you must complete to ensure that you purchase the correct application, but we still have individuals that purchase the incorrect application. Please pay close attention to the answers that you provide in the survey to ensure you purchase the correct application. You may also refer back to the credentialing guide to ensure you are purchasing the correct application path for which you qualify. We frequently receive client coaching logs that do not meet the requirements. So please be sure to review the client coaching log requirements available on the website before you submit your application to prevent delays in the application process. Many individuals think that they must complete the CKA when they submit their application. Once your application has been submitted and reviewed by our staff, you will be sent a link to complete the CKA. You may find more information about the CKA, sample questions, and frequently asked questions at coachfederation.org/CKA. We do receive recordings for performance evaluations that do not meet the requirements or do not pass at the expected credential level. On the next 2 slides, I will provide our suggestions as to how best prepare for your performance evaluation. If you are applying via the ACC Portfolio, PCC ACSTH, PCC Portfolio, or MCC Portfolio paths, you will be required to pass a performance evaluation. Before preparing for your performance evaluation, study the ICF core competencies and observe them in your coaching. Have your mentor coach provide feedback on how your coaching demonstrates each of the ICF core competencies and which competencies you might need to practice. The ICF Competencies Comparison Table provides information about what assessors are listening for when they conduct your performance evaluation. We suggest that you record several coaching sections and select one session that demonstrates use of a wide variety of the ICF core competencies. Review your selected session and make sure the conversation is clear, audible, and that only first names have been used during the coaching session. The quality and proximity of the recording device used is typically more important than the file bit rate in regards to the overall quality of the recorded file. An inaudible recorded coaching session will result in lower scores for the performance evaluation and delays in the credentialing process. Please also note that use of services such as Skype are not recommended to produce recordings for the performance evaluation due to possible disconnections during the session. Files submitted for the performance evaluation must be of a complete coaching session that is not edited, that lasts between 20 and 60 minutes. Sessions that exceed 60 minutes will not be scored. Files must feature an actual coaching session between you and a paid or pro bono client that is not part of coach training. The client may not be a coach unless they are a regular client. Files must be in one part. Multiple files for one coaching session will not be reviewed. Files must be in MP3 or WMA formats. Video files and other formats will not be accepted. Files must be 95 megabytes or less. And we suggest that you use a lower bit rate to decrease the file size if needed. Files must be uploaded when completing the online credential application. Providing a URL to download or stream audio recordings will not be accepted. Please note files should also be labeled or named with your name and a number. For example, Joe Smith 1 and Joe Smith 2. Next, we're going to transition to the requirement changes that will be going into effect October 1st, 2016. Currently, we can accept client coaching experience from before you started a coach-specific training program. As of October 1st, 2016, We will only accept client coaching experience from after you start a coach-specific training program. These changes are only for the ACC and the PCC credential experience requirements. No changes have been made to the MCC credential experience requirements at this time. Anyone serious about building or maintaining a coaching business should pursue an ICF credential and become part of this well-respected group that has chosen to regulate itself and provide accountability to clients and the coaching profession as a whole. With an ICF credential, coaches demonstrate not only knowledge and skill, but also a commitment to high professional standards and a strong code of ethics. ICF research has revealed several reasons coaches benefit from becoming a credential holder. Earning an ICF credential can make a difference in your business. Coaches who hold a professional credential report higher earnings than their non-credentialed peers. Clients with credentialed coaches are more satisfied with the coaching partnership and are more likely to recommend coaching to others. Members who hold an ICF credential enjoy an additional benefit, which is a free listing on the ICF Credentialed Coach Finder, or CCF. The CCF can help you connect with individuals and organizations who seek your coaching services. That is the end of my presentation. Now we'll transfer over to the Q&A session. And I believe, Tracy, I'm going to have you take back over so that you can help moderate the questions that have come up after my presentation.
Thank you, Emily. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, want to be sure of that. That was very, very, very informative. Thank you so much. So at this time, we'll take some time to respond to questions that have and are being posted in the questions window. I said chat window before, but I'm looking at the questions window. If there are any questions submitted that Emily is not able to cover on this call, she'll follow up afterwards to answer them specifically. So at this time, I'm looking at my questions window and do not see any questions, but if you do have any questions, take this time to type them in and I will relay them to Emily.
I know I gave you a lot of information. Someone has to have a question about something.
That's a good point. Yep. All right. Here comes one. Well, this is a comment. Helpful and clear. Thank you.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Very nice. That's from Jim. And let's see. Got another one from, it looks like Valerie. This is the same thing. Now, here's a question coming up. Would you speak to the possibility of group mentor coaching versus one-on-one?
Sure. Group mentor coaching is accepted as long as there are fewer than 10 individuals in the group. Of the 10 hours of mentor coaching that is required for a credential, 7 of them may be completed in a group mentor coaching setting. Group mentor coaching is just a little bit different than one-on-one mentor coaching because the group as a whole sets the agenda for what topics will be covered. But you still will have the same focus of building your coaching skills in alignment with the ICF core competencies.
Okay, great. Thank you, Emily. That was helpful. Another question by Lori, from Lori. Do the recordings have to be within the year it's putting in the application?
No, there is no recency requirement on the recordings. You just want to make sure that they demonstrate your best coaching skills in order for the assessors to have the information that they need to evaluate your coaching skills.
Okay, great. Thank you. Catherine has a question. What changes will there be to the recertification as of October 1st?
No changes will be made to the credential renewal process as of October 1st. The only changes that are being made are in regards to the client coaching experience hours for the ACC and the PCC credential.
Okay, great. So Tricia has, how do we access the slide presentation after the webinar is over?
I believe that I will work with Tracy to make it available so that it can be distributed. I'm happy to turn it into a PDF and have it distributed so that she can send it out to everyone so you all have a copy.
Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know. That's important. We make sure that that gets out to everyone.
Absolutely.
All right, so Anne has a question. Is there a time limit from when you had mentoring coaching? I had 6 months mentoring coaching in 2008 to 2009.
No, mentor coaching hours do not expire, so there is no time limit regarding when you completed the mentor coaching.
Okay, great. Jan asks, can the mentor coach be different from the group mentor coach?
Absolutely, and that happens frequently.
Okay, sounds good. So here comes on one from Cindy. If someone applies for PCC but only passes at the ACC level, will they be granted ACC credentials without having to reapply fully?
Yes, if someone passes at the ACC level, we will award them the ACC credential. You also have the opportunity to submit additional recordings for review. Each recording is a $150 retake fee, and you can submit those should you choose to continue to pursue the PCC credential, or you can just stay with the ACC credential. It's completely and totally your choice whether you want to stay with the ACC or try to continue to pursue the PCC.
Okay. Okay, Susan has a question. What advice can you offer for making sure the coaching log contains all the correct details?
Well, I can show you exactly where I would go if I were a coach that was preparing to apply for a credential. Under our individual credentialing section on our website, you can scroll down to Experience, and here it outlines exactly how to document your client coaching experience depending upon the type of coaching that you are providing. Then also at the bottom of the page, there is a template that we suggest that you use to document your client coaching experience, but reviewing the experience requirements on this page is going to be your best way to prepare for presenting your client coaching experience for the purpose of applying for a credential.
Okay, great. Great. So here's a question. What if you are employed by an organization, you are a certified coach, you only do private occasionally, but coach with employees on a day-to-day basis as part of your job?
Mm-hmm. That would fall under internal coaching. Internal coaching is coaching that's done as part of an applicant's employment. Internal coaching is considered paid because you are being paid by your employer. Just note that coaching direct reports cannot be accepted as internal coaching.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yep. Okay, so here's another mentor coaching. Okay, is there a time limit between the time you start and finish with your mentor coach?
There is a minimum of 3 months. You must complete the 10 hours over a minimum of at least 3 months to allow you to develop a relationship with your mentor coach. But there is no time limit as far as how long the mentor coaching engagement must be.
Okay, great. Good. So Roxanne has a question also. If you apply for PCC level and the accessor scores the recordings at an ACC level, will the coach receive the ACC?
Yes, I believe we answered that previously, but I'm happy to reiterate that yes, if you apply for the PCC but the assessors determine that you are actually coaching at the ACC level, you'll be awarded the ACC credential, but will also be given the opportunity to provide additional recordings through the performance evaluation retake process for consideration for the PCC.
No, thank you. Thank you for reiterating.
My pleasure.
So Anne is asking, are there time limits for coaching hours? How far back can you include coaching hours?
Well, that is all regarding the new policy changes that will go into effect October 1st, 2016. Currently, you can go back as far as you'd like in regards to documenting your client coaching experience. but as of October 1st, we will only accept client coaching experience that you logged after you started a coach training program.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So this question is asking if I took the ACTT path and I received ACC prior to the institution of CKA, do I need to take the CKA in my succession to PCC level, or is it waived?
No, you are required to take the CKA with your PCC application.
Okay. Okay. And then this relates to the log also. How specific does the log need to be? Will my clients be contacted? And if so, do I need to inform that I have listed them on my log?
You are required to obtain their consent before you may list them on your log to be in keeping with the ICF Code of Ethics. If they do not consent to be listed on your log, their names must be left off the log and you won't be able to use that as part of your client coaching experience. The information that will be required for individual clients is the client's name and email address or phone number, the start and end date of the coaching relationship, and the total number of paid and pro bono hours that you coach the client. If your client coaching log is audited, we will contact your clients via email to confirm the information that you presented on your client coaching log. To protect confidentiality, we will never ask them for any information about the actual coaching sessions, what was discussed, or anything of that nature. We just need to verify the information that you've put on your log. So they'll need to verify that, yes, they were coached by you, whether it was paid or pro bono coaching, and the estimated number of hours of coaching that you completed with that client.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That's nice. Interesting. It's nice to have that clarity. So Barbara asks, are there any requirements on how recently coach training has been completed? No, I think we have.
No, there are no requirements regarding the recency of coach training.
Okay. Okay. And here's a question. If I had 10 hours of mentor coaching, 10 hours of mentor coaching in my ACTP, when I apply for MCC, do I need an additional 10 hours of mentor coaching? Or do those first 10 cover that requirement?
If you are applying for the MCC, you will be required to have an additional 10 hours of mentor coaching from an MCC credentialed coach.
Okay. Okay. Great. All right. Here's something. I'm trying to see if this is something we've answered or not. Okay, no, it isn't. Do you have to apply for ACC before applying for PCC, or can you just apply to PCC if you met qualifications?
You are not required to apply for the ACC before the PCC or the PCC before the MCC. As long as you meet the application requirements, you're eligible to go ahead and apply for whatever credential level best fits you.
Okay. Okay, good. Does ICF make available good examples of coaching demonstrations?
Do we make available good? No, we do not. We do not have any recordings available on our website of examples of good coaching sessions, but we do offer a coaching competencies comparison table, which you can get to from the individual credentialing section of our website. It shows the varying level of competency skills and what assessors are looking for at each level. So that's a really great document to help evaluate your skills, see where areas of growth are needed, and help you prepare for each credential level.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. I'm reading this in real time, so I apologize, participants, if occasionally I repeat a question that's just been asked because I'm moving quickly. There's quite a few that are showing up. How common is it to apply through Portfolio for PCC without having an ACC first? That's just asking similar, but it's just asking how common it is.
To be honest with you, we have fewer portfolio applications than any other application type, but I wouldn't have the exact numbers as far as how common it is.
Okay. So this one says, so does group mentor coaching aggregate such that if the course goes from July to August, can the individual mentor coach be a 2-month experience after that?
Could you repeat the question one more time for me,
Sure.
please?
Absolutely. So does group mentor coaching aggregate such that if the course goes from July to August, can the individual mentor coach be a 2-month experience after that? Does that make sense?
No, and in order to meet the mentor coaching requirements, the mentor coaching has to take place over a period of at least 3 months. So they would have to have another month of mentor coaching to meet the requirements.
Okay. Okay. How has ICF advised coaching psychologists to navigate submission of coaching hours in so much as psychologists are required to not only meet ethical requirements of confidentiality with the APA, as well as with their state organization, and as well as with their licensing board? It is considered to be using undue influence to ask a client to relinquish their right to confidentiality rights for the coach's purposes.
Well, that's just if you are providing psychology or counseling. If you are providing coaching, those are not protected under the same requirements. You have to be very clear with your client when you are providing psychology or psychological services and when you are providing coaching. When you are providing coaching, you may ask their permission to be listed on the client coaching log. But if you are providing other services outside of coaching, that would not be eligible for your client coaching log.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Now here's another question from Sharon. Is there a consent form for clients to complete for the log?
There is not a consent form. The consent may be verbal and does not need to be demonstrated to the ICF. You just have to you have to bear in mind that it's the ICF Code of Ethics that is requiring that you obtain their consent. So if for some reason we find that you have put someone on your client coaching log that did not provide your consent, you'd be in breach of the ICF Code of Ethics.
Okay. Okay, good. Lisa asked, are we required to have 10 hours of mentor coaching each time we move up, ACC to PCC to MCC?
That is a very sensitive question to answer simply because it depends upon a lot of variables. It depends upon which application path that you are applying through, and it depends upon the credential level of your mentor coach. So say, for example, you were applying via the ACC ACSTH path and the PCC ACSTH path, both of which require 10 hours of mentor coaching. If for your ACC application you are mentored by a PCC credentialed coach, you can use the same 10 hours for your ACC ACSTH application and your PCC ACSTH application because your mentor coach held the PCC credential.
Okay.
The only exception to that would be the MCC credential, where regardless of what other mentor coaching you may have had in the past, you are required to have an additional 10 hours of mentor coaching from an MCC credentialed coach.
Okay, great. So Anne asks, what is the best way to record your coaching if you've not done that before?
Well, we do recommend as soon as you begin coaching that you start logging your client coaching experience. But I would refer you back to the experience page, which gives very clear instructions on how to document your client coaching experience for the purpose of applying for an ICF credential.
Okay. Okay. Here's a question. Does mentor coaches at any level have to go through mentor coaching training? Or are they considered qualified to be mentors by default by holding a credential?
In order to be a mentor coach, you simply have to hold an ICF credential.
Okay. Okay. Catherine asks, is there a time limit? Did I see this? Okay, is there a time limit for submitting an application after it's purchased? Hmm. Emily, are you there? Emily, I'm not hearing you. It looks like it's Emily. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm going to check my questions board to see if other people are hearing Emily and I am not. Okay, I see that there's a lot of people not hearing Emily. And I know you can hear me, but you can't hear Emily, and I can't hear her either. So I'm checking to see what's going on at this moment. Okay, I see that she has gone off for audio. So I'm going to try to connect with her. If you wouldn't mind holding on, we will try to get her back on the line. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I think you might be able to hear me at this time. I'm looking at chatting. I'm still trying to get Emily on the line, so if you don't mind holding tight for a few more minutes until I can get her back up, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. This is Tracy. Apparently, we're having some technical difficulties that we're not able to remedy at this time. So what I'm going to do is take all your questions, which I'm recording, hand them off to Emily, send them to her, and she can answer them specifically. So I appreciate your time and your patience. And thank you very much. If you have any questions for me, you can go ahead and send them on also, and I'll take a chance trying to answer them. So appreciate you. Thank you all for coming on the phone and for participating and listening in. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you. Bye-bye.